Hello and welcome to ThePrint. Key accused in the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, Tahawwur Rana, was brought back India later yesterday and was produced at the Patiala court late in the night. This comes after a prolonged legal and diplomatic battle spanning over 16 years following India's formal request for his extradition. The breakthrough comes after US finally rejected Rana's appeal to remain in the country. While this marks a significant step forward, reflecting India's continued efforts to strengthen global cooperation and bringing fugitives to justice, several high-profile individuals still remain outside India's reach. Conspirator David Headley, another key conspirator in the 26/11 attacks, continues to evade Indian authorities because of a plea bargain that he had with the United States. To unpack the significance of Rana's extradition, its implications, possible outcomes, and what lies ahead, we are joined by a key voice, Mr. Loknath Behera, the former Director General of the Kerala Police, who served as the IG NIA at the time and had also interrogated David Headley in the United States. Welcome to ThePrint, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good morning to you.
Good morning. So I just want to start basically by asking you the significance of Rana's extradition to India. I mean, we all know that Headley was a key conspirator in this entire operation that was planned in Pakistan, and NIA's charge sheet has extensively mentioned his role. But with Rana now coming back to India, what gaps is he likely to fill in that conspiracy that investigators already are not aware of?
So Rana is actually a conspirator. That is, even the NIA charge sheet has already very clearly stated in 2011.
Right.
Subsequently, the Mumbai police also have charge sheeted him in the Mumbai blast case, and they have submitted a charge sheet, I think, in 2023.
Right.
So that is a supplementary charge sheet which they have filed. So he is an accused. So the accused, and he is important because he was the key facilitator for David Headley. They studied together in the same college in Pakistan, and they became bodies, they became friends, they have the jihadi ideologies, and all these things are there. But we could not get more information on Tahawwur Rana because we did not have the access to him for interrogation as we did in case of David Headley.
Right.
So many of the unanswered questions which only can be actually answered by Rana.
Right.
So what a case of conspiracy was made out prima facie against Rana by the NIA investigation, but it is only a part. Another, actually, we are actually suspecting his role in a bigger context because he may be having some contacts, local or otherwise. And so he extensively traveled in India, so many times coming there.
Right.
And whether there were some other persons involved, local or otherwise, that has to come out.
Right.
Secondly, the financing part, because all the money which has been spent by David Headley apparently has been actually given by Rana. And what was the source of Rana's funding?
Right.
That is also important. This is terror funding investigations are very crucial.
Right.
Third thing is that who are his handlers who actually also did behind the screen conspiracy.
Right.
These are very honest, some of the questions which have to be answered, and to justify his actually travel from various to various parts of India.
Right.
And on the pretext of recruitment. So whether that was only the front end and he had some other intention, that can be also found out by the investigating agencies.
Right. So you're saying that it will also help NIA to basically get more insight, get more information on the ISI link of this entire operation. Because in the NIA's charge sheet, they've extensively mentioned role of Major Iqbal, who was constantly giving money. This included, the fake currency notes that were handed over to Headley, including some dollars that were given to him to basically book his stay, etc., and other things. So Major Iqbal's role has been extensively mentioned. Of course, we do not have access to those people, those 7 accused mentioned in the NIA charge sheet. So you're saying that this will also give a crucial, I mean, this is also crucial because it will give them more insight into the ISI link of this entire operation.
Yes, it is I mean, these are the things which we also presumed
Right.
that actually, and this extradition is a shot in the arm for the government of India and various agencies, government, various departments. And let us actually take the advantage of it. The investigating agencies should take advantage of this particular his presence. A proper scientific interrogation being done extensively will bring out more facts, which will be actually giving a completeness to the conspiracy theory, which actually has been already, I mean, to large extent proved. But there are certain things which are unanswered in the minds of the public, in the minds of media, in the minds of the investigators, in the minds of government. So that all these things will come out. So he is a very crucial. We should not say that he is not very important. He is
Yes.
important because so many years. Of course, we took a little time. Extraditions are time-consuming processes, as you know. It is sovereign as well as legal processes, so it takes time. But
Right.
nevertheless, we got him. So it has to, I mean, we have to put the best foot forward and find out what actually these questions which we also posed and I also posed, these have to be answered. So,
Right.
and these professional agencies like NIA and the Bombay Crime Branch, I am sure they will actually do it well. And
Right.
I will be the happiest person to know that long back when we charge sheeted, that time that a little bit of skepticism, whatever were there, with so it will be all removed by this further investigation to be conducted by these professional agencies.
Right. So, since you were personally, you had gone to question Headley, and that's why I want to put this question. Of course, we'll come to that part where I would ask you to share some anecdotes when you went to question Headley and what all he said. But first of all, sir, what about Headley? I mean, he visited India multiple times. There were more than 5 to 6 visits, and he was the field guy in basically planning this entire operation, executing it, collecting information, and because of whom this attack could actually happen. But India could not secure his extradition because he had a bargain plea. So will we have to make do just with Rana? I mean, does it really mean closure?
See, actually, you know the Headley's role because his interrogation report is in public domain.
Okay.
You might have also seen
Yes.
that. And what is happening is that he has extensively talked about various, I mean, players which actually participated in behind the screen and on the screen, and that is quite, I mean, relevant to the entire case. But if you read between the lines, there are also some gaps, which actually he probably did not know.
Okay.
So those things can be called out from here because these two were shadows of each other. And the question is that, and they were operating in a picture perfect manner, in a way so that their identity identities are not revealed, and they can actually work in isolation as well as collaboration in a very very tactful way.
Right.
So as far as Headley is concerned, when we interrogated him, actually he had spoken extensively, which he had also spoken to the FBI interrogators, and he also gave a lot of details, more than actually what was contained in the FBI reports relating to India. And he has also talked about terrorism in general, who are the people who are actually inimical, etc., which are very important for all the agencies working in counterterrorism. So, anecdote which actually he is a very articulate guy, and he actually has a great sense of humor also. Sometimes he will crack a Hindi kind of jokes in Urdu. He is actually very well informed about Indian films, Indian songs. In fact, he told one of the times that his father, Mr. Gilani's, written some songs have been taken into Hindi films. These are the things these are the lighter side of that. But he's also a serious person, and he has spoken extensively, and that's why the interrogation report is quite a bulky one. You can actually go through that.
So, but sir, what did he say about Rana? I mean, I would ask you, what was your experience, first of all, questioning Headley, and
So he only spoke about Rana because what he knew actually
Okay.
about Rana, because Rana was actually facilitating him. Rana
Yes.
opened a office for him
Yes.
to actually have a so that he can
Like a
come
front
frequently
in Bombay.
in the front end so that he can come and he cannot be detected. All
Yes.
these things were actually he has these things have already come in
Yes.
in the interrogation report of the of this David Coleman Headley.
Right.
But you take other way that Rana has also to say something. So Rana may also say something. Say for example, I mean theoretically speaking, so example that some of the roles whether he can talk about Headley and what Headley had not spoken to us.
Right.
So that is also one part of that, whether the Headleys and all the things which could not be verified from the Headley's interrogation, whether he can also attest to those things. Those things are there. So these are all investigation techniques and investigation actually protocols which you have to be complied with, and more information has to be actually collected. As you say that in counterterrorism, the most important thing is the information.
Right.
And the information is power. And that is what India is going to get, and it is a great thing.
But sir, will it be correct to say that it was actually Headley's interrogation report, like you said, whatever he told investigators, which was the basis of the mostly the basis of NIA's case and what they built on? Because he was the only one who was available at that time to be there.
That is
an extension to that question is also that why was Tahawwur Rana, no permission was granted to question Rana at that point?
so that answer I cannot say because it is beyond actually our scope. It is sovereign functions. So that time the United States granted the access to Headley. So we did that. And we had, because these two people were arrested in simultaneous, I mean, very near
Yes.
to it in 2009.
Yes.
So what has happened is that some of the things which Headley said about Rana is there. And some of the investigations we conducted, we got some other field investigations to know Rana's role. But beyond that, also there are things that is naturally being suspected by any investigator, and it has to come out.
Right. Right. So, sir, if you could tell us something about when you went to question Headley, what did he say after 26/11? What happened? Because Rana, I believe, was still Rana and Headley both were in India at that point in November 2008 when the attack happened on 26/11. So, what happened after that? Because according to NIA's charge sheet, soon after that, the planning for the Denmark incident started.
No. That actually that is a little confusing. You can say. See, in 2009, when they were arrested, the Denmark plot was already revealed.
Right.
That was why. So that was actually they were arrested for that also. You can say.
Right.
Then they say that a material support to terrorism, which is an offense in US, that is also they were charged.
Right.
But what happened after the 26/11, that is I do not think we could. If I correctly remember, we did not get much of the things from Headley.
Okay.
But I want to correct you that during the attack on 26/11 attack, both of them were not in India.
Okay. Okay, so soon after, because Tahawwur Rana had visited India with his wife in 2008, November.
Yeah, that is right. I don't remember those details right now.
Right.
But so see, the moot question today is that how important is Rana? I say is very important.
Right. Right. So, when we talk about the intelligence system, intelligence gathering, what do you think has changed now from, say, the last 16 years when 26/11 happened? Has it become more robust? Of course, it has, because technology has advanced. What changes do you see? Because you've also headed a police force in Kerala, you've been in the thick of things. So what has changed since 2008, and what more needs to change going ahead?
See, the change, as you have already answered, the technology has become the best tool for intelligence agencies,
Right.
and which are been extensively used all over the world, including India.
Right.
And there are the interagency coordination with the help of government has increased. Otherwise, you would not have got Rana back in India. The
Right.
interagency cooperation, both domestic as well as international, that has come out. So today, anything happening here is also known immediately in Assam. And what is happening in Assam is known immediately in Gujarat. And what is happening in Gujarat is known immediately at Maharashtra. It is a click of a button, everything is now available.
Right.
And we have become actually, probably all the agencies have become more and more professional. But now with the new advent of technology like AI and other things, we have to we have to go miles also to actually counter, because these new generation technologies will be also extensively used by the criminals and terrorists, etc. So to counter that, we have to also have the strategies, and we have to have the counter technologies also,
Right.
which are all coming slowly. And I'm sure that we have a very robust, very professional agencies in India. I have the fortune of working with many of the agencies. They're highly professional, and they are becoming more and more professional.
Right.
And the best thing is that the support from both state governments as well as the central government is immense towards the intelligence agencies, because we have to protect ourselves.
Right.
And we cannot be just victims of terrorism and losing lots of lives, which have come down drastically because of this interagency cooperation, good intelligence, timely intelligence, actionable intelligence.
Right.
So these are good things.
Right. Sir, I'll take you back a little to Headley again. I just wanted to ask you, did he spill the beans on this ISI network, whether it is the involvement of Major Iqbal, whether it is the involvement of Captain Sameer, or others that have been named in the charge sheet in NIA? Did he give information that was not included in the interrogation report that we have all read?
No. No. Most he spoke about his handlers, his actually connection with our neighboring country, etc. He spoke. That is all contained in the report.
Okay.
But we had also done some investigation, and now those investigation things findings were also contained in the charge sheet.
Right.
So
In the NIA
therefore,
charge.
yeah, you cannot say that it is only Headley who is actually there. That will undermine the credibility and the efficiency of the agencies. A lot of hard work was done by various agencies, all coming together in India. And they have also taken the help of the outside agencies and
Right.
collected evidence. On the basis of that, only the charge sheet was actually filed. See, I remember the standing MLAT requests and all these things happened. So these are highly technical matters. I don't want to actually speak on those particular investigational methodologies, etc.
Right.
But the question is that it is primarily a prima facie. The roles were revealed by Headley. It is true, but there were corroborative and other evidences also.
Right, sir. Also, I wanted to ask you, what, as an investigating officer who had gone to question Headley, what was the most challenging part of this assignment that you may have felt while doing so?
We actually to make Headley talk. That is the most important thing, which that was the challenge. So how to actually make him to talk very freely, openly, candidly, honestly, that was the challenge. So we could probably do a good job by actually telling, getting talking to him for very long hours every day, and without losing patience. And that is the challenge, and we overcome that challenge.
Did you lose your
Otherwise,
patience in between, sir?
no, we are actually trained for that. We know that many of the time people do not talk at all. Initially, they will not be, there will be hesitation. Then you have to find out, use various methodologies. Those things I don't want to say. These are operational matters. So,
Right.
which actually help the people to collect, to person to talk.
Right.
So this is your experience. This is the training imparted to you. This is your common sense. This is your information. The most important thing is that get prepared with lot of information. Say today, the agencies, NIA, Bombay Police, and other agencies will be in a very good position because they have collected a large number of information.
Right.
So to actually challenge a person who is being interrogated with this information will elicit more information. That is how it is done.
It went on for how long, sir? How long were you there? And the interrogation happened for how long in a day?
See, we used to spend around 7-8 hours every day. It went for 72 hours. We did it for 10 days.
Okay.
So like that.
All right. Last question, sir. What next for Rana? Now, what we see is at 2:30 in the night, in fact, we got the news about Rana being sent to the custody of National Investigation Agency for about 18 days. So he will be questioned, of course, by investigators on his role in 2611. And of course, whatever information, like you correctly said, has been gathered from Headley's interrogation and other things that NIA already has so much information. So he'll be questioned along those lines. But what next for him? So do we see a charge sheet being filed in the trial? How long is it expected to take?
Look, he has now been granted the NIA custody for 18 days.
Yeah.
So NIA can get a maximum up to 30 days because it is on he's actually the offences are under the UAPA.
Right.
So after that, actually, he has to go back to the judicial custody. So but during this time, during the time of interrogation or after the interrogation is over, whatever new revelations will come, that has to be verified. And that has to be converted to evidence, material evidence, which the agencies will do. Then what will happen? Then they have to file another charge sheet with the new information and new evidence in the court, which we call a supplementary charge sheet.
Right.
And after that, the cognizance of offences will be taken by the special court, and the trial will start. That is one part. But in the meantime, there is another case in Mumbai, which is a different case. So they will also do the same thing. They may also take him to custody. They will also subject him to a custodial interrogation, and they will do the same thing at NIA doing. Because there are now 2 offences and 2 jurisdictions, so there will be 2 trials. Unless there is at some point of time the Supreme Court, only the Supreme Court can do to merge this together.
Yes.
So that is the present situation, and I think everything will come out well.
So last question, he will of course he can defend himself in the court. Of course, he'll have that option. And one key point is that he was actually acquitted in the United States for the conspiracy of 2611, although he was convicted for the charges in Denmark. But then for this particular conspiracy, they said that he did provide material evidence to the Lashkar-e-Taiba, but he was acquitted. So do you think that could impact the trial in India?
Our case is little different from the US. That we have actually, that has been very clearly mentioned in the court, in court in US by our advocates, our lawyers. And so, it is very convincing for the court and for everybody. Cases are different. So the case there was supporting, giving material support to the terrorism. That was the case there.
Right.
Whereas it will be a little different because there are other offenses he has committed, like forgery, using false documents, all kind of things. These are very serious things. Right. And those things also will be coming there. So I do not think that the acquittal in the US will anyway impact, because the court here will independently assess the evidence.
Right.
Will be put before the.
Right.
So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, sir, for joining us. Sorry, your phone. Hello.
Yeah, it is actually now gone off.
Yes. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for joining us and speaking to us on this very important story that's ongoing. We will be following the story closely, and you can watch for all the updates on the Print website. We will be covering this closely. Thank you so much for watching.